Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Hello, welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm back, first one for 2026. Thank you so much for joining me. And it's going to be a fun night. I think I've got some really fun things to share with you. So, welcome to everyone who is watching on Facebook. Welcome to everyone who is watching on YouTube. You can see all previous episodes of Monday Night Live over on our YouTube channel. So, if you've missed any, you can check them out there. So, before we get started, a couple of things. We have a Monday Night Live demo deal going, and it's 25% off visible image, all in stock visible image happening. That is online today because the store is closed, and online and in store tomorrow until 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time, and then the deal goes away. That ends tomorrow night, 11:59 p.m., and that's February 10th. So 25% off visible image. Now, we are also doing a giveaway tonight. We do a giveaway on Monday Night Live. Now, Brianna is here in the background, and she is running the giveaway tool in the background. And what it is doing is it is gathering up your names from your comments. And before we leave tonight, Brianna will run the giveaway tool. It'll go through all of the names and it will pick one of you to win this visible image stencil. And this one is called Fingerprint. Isn't that interesting? One of you is going to win that. So I'm actually going to show you a sample that I made earlier today using that stencil. Look at the background. So that background there is using the fingerprint stencil. Now, the image on the front is not visible image. It's actually from Unity. And that one is called Love Stays No Matter What. The image of the person, the sentiment, your existence is proof of your strength, is from another Unity stamp called You Don't Have to Be Okay. And the wings are actually an ephemera I had in my stash. I believe they're all in Create, but that's where the wings are from. And they're all colored. All of the color you see here is in Fusion. So I will be using that tonight as well. But I just wanted to do a sample with that stencil. Because sometimes people see a stencil, they're like, why would I want a stencil of a fingerprint? But when you use it, you can get a completely different look. Like when I use it like that, it doesn't look like a fingerprint. At least it doesn't for me. So there you go. Hello from Saskatchewan. You've never heard of visible image. Oh, Sandra, you're in for a treat. You are in for a treat. Okay. Visible image, what do they do? Stamps, stencils, and I'm having a brain fart. I don't think they do dies. Why do I? No, they do. Yes, they do have dies. I just don't have any of them here. But yes, they do. They do have dies. And they also have paper packs. I think 8x8 paper packs. Sorry, whoever that is, the Paper and Ink Boutique. Is that you, Brianna? Yes, they do. I was just like, I'm sure they do. But then I was so afraid. I was so afraid of saying, yes, they do. And somebody go, no, they don't. They also have some mixed media tags. I'll be using these as well. They have some wonderful stencils. So there's the fingerprint one. That one's mine. This one is called Ledger. I don't think this one is in stock right now. I believe we have it on reorder, but this one definitely is on reorder, and I love this one. This one is called Noted, and it's gorgeous. I'm going to be using this one tonight, but stunning. I love it. Not only do I love the handwritten on it, I love that you've got this torn notebook edge, plus you've got all these edges. I'm going to do a small sample of these so you can see what they look like actually stenciled. And Visible Image has some amazing stamps. Amazing. Now, these are the three I'm going to be working with tonight. I've got lots of visible image stamps, but a lot of the ones I have here at home, we don't have in stock. So I'm not going to show you those ones, but we have a lot of really gorgeous visible image stamps in stock right now. We also have their newest release on order. It should be arriving in a couple of weeks, and it releases at the end of February, and it is absolutely gorgeous as well. And here's just some samples of their stamps, and they are clear stamps as well. Okay, I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to show you a sample I made. Now, this is the Dina Wakely watercolor journal from Ranger, and this is actually the first thing I created in it. First thing I've created in it. And look how fun this is. So I created actually a pocket. I tore one page out, created a pocket. I'm not going to be doing that tonight, but I am going to be sharing with you how I created some of the elements on this page. So the stamp set, actually, let me go. These are the tags from this mixed media tag set. So here, there's tags in here, black, craft, and white, and in 2 different sizes. So you can see you get 2 of each, 2 black, 2 craft, 2 white in the big size, and 2, 2, and 2 in, or actually no, 3, 3, and 3 in the smaller size. And they're great tags. These are 2 of the tags that I used here. Here's one that I created, one of the smaller ones on white. So fun. And then here's another one I created on one of the bigger tags, and that's fun too. I'm going to start creating a background. I'm not going to recreate this whole thing, but I am going to do one page just to kind of show you how I created this look here. And then we are going to do 1 or 2 of the tags. So this page that I did, I just started with the plain white paper, plain white. And then I started with some of the background stamps. So the one that I like, and if you've been watching along for any amount of time, you know that I love stamps that have writing, typing. Are the tags also watercolor paper? They're a mixed media paper. Let me bring this back here. 300 GSM. Stamping, inking, layering, journaling. So they're mixed media. They're 300 GSM. That's quite heavy. So they could be used for watercolor. If you look at the tags that I did, that is using the infusions with water. So yeah, they can stand up to water. So I took this stamp, and that is this one here. Love it. And that is from the Spread Your Wings 4x8 stamp set. And I am going to grab a stamp platform. Okay, now I'm going to stamp these with embossing ink on my paper, and then we're going to emboss them with some clear embossing powder because I want to get a resist look when I use my infusions. So I'm just going to come in, I'm just going to stamp that with the diamond medium. Now, I don't care if these come out perfect. I don't care if there's some words missing, some letters missing, because these are just background. And I'm even going to do some like 2nd generation stamping, 3rd generation. I'm just trying to create just some visible. I'm just trying to create some visual interest in the background. So I don't care, like I can't really see it because I'm stamping it white on white, or sorry, embossing ink on white. So I can't really see it. This isn't really going to get very exciting until I add the infusion. So I'm sorry if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, when's the excitement going to start? Don't worry, it's coming. Okay. So if I tip that in the light, I can definitely see that on there. Just going to wipe that ink off of there. And now I'm going to take my embossing powder. I am building the suspense. I love this embossing powder, hence why I have it in the very large jar, because I use it all the time. I love it so much. We actually do have the large jars in stock. This is a clear gloss embossing powder. Okay, I'm just putting it along the top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of spread it out and then dump it down my page. I don't know if you can see that, but it has now stuck. I've yet to try an art journal page. I'm always so motivated. Oh, you know, I'm just going to say, I don't know why I closed this. Jennifer says she has yet to try an art journal page. I'm just going to say that any of the things that I am doing on my art journal page are things that can be done on a card. So don't think you need to do an art journal page, because everything that I'm doing, I did on this card. Yeah. Surprise, Jackie, I'm here. Okay, so I've got my embossing powder on there. Now I'm going to heat it up. Oh, I see Kathy. Kathy is encouraging Jennifer to try it. Didn't realize how much embossing powder I put on this page. Almost done heating that up. You struggle with embossing powder, it seems to get everywhere. Do you know what? Not gonna lie, Megan. I have it all over here. I can feel it. It's all gritty. But I am going to clear it off because I hate when it sticks to the back of everything. Okay, so, oh, I missed some. Oh my goodness, so much embossing powder on here. That's crazy. Okay. So I've got my embossing powder. Now you can hardly see it, right? Oof. Okay. Now, before I put my embossing powder away, there are a couple of techniques I did on here that I'm not going to do on this page, but I'm actually going to do it on a tag. So let me just move this to the side. That way I can, that way I can do the infusions all at the same time too. So I'm going to grab out a tag. I think I might do a craft one this time. Let's do something different. Okay. this time, let me grab out, this is the noted stencil. Lovely. And I'm going to grab out, actually, no, let's not do that first. Let's do this one first. I'm trying to think in the way I can do this with making the least amount of mess as possible. Is that possible when it comes to me? It just seems like I make a mess all the time. Okay, let's pull out this stamp set. This one is called Soar. And I'm going to use the grass from this one. Hello, Red Deer. How do you like? Oh, I love my glass board. I love it. The magnets, everything. Okay. I am actually going to use my magnets to hold this so it doesn't move along. Okay, so this is the grass, and I am going to put it on my board. This time I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair. Exactly, right, Crystal? This time I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair. I'm only going to stamp the upper part of it because I'm actually only going to use part of the stamp to go along the bottom of the tag. Ooh, that's cool. I love that. Look how that filled in. That is gorgeous. Okay, let me put the VersaFine Clair. Love this one because it stays wet long enough that I can emboss it. Just going to wipe that up. And now let's do that embossing powder again. I love this grass one too. Love it. There we go. Now let's give this a heat. Sorry, do you have the re-inkers for the VersaFine Clair? We have the re-inkers for the VersaFine Clair colors that we have in stock. Who was that? Jennifer. But we special order in any colors. We've special ordered in colors for ones we don't have in stock. So if you have any requests, you can send it to support and we can order in any re-inkers for you. Okay, so that has now been embossed, so I can use that as a resist. And now I'm going to bring in my stencil because I want to use some of the texture paste. And I'm using the opaque matte texture paste from Ranger. And I'm going to grab my spatula and let's add in some of this. Let's turn this around. There we go, adding some texture paste on there. Close that up really quick. And let me give my spatula a quick wipe. And I'm going to wipe this before I forget because dry texture paste on a stencil is the kiss of death for a stencil. So I like giving that a wipe pretty quick. Sometimes a spray of water just makes it a little bit easier to get that off. Perfect. There we go. Okay. Just going to wipe those edges, and I'm going to set that aside to let that dry. Now, before we move on, if you're wondering, because I know some people, when you look at stencils, sometimes you're like, I don't understand what that's going to look like. I'm just going to bring this in, and I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide colors just so you can get a look at what they look like when they're actually stenciled. I've got some black soot. So this is that noted stencil. So I just want to show you what that one looks like. Sometimes I love the edges of the stencils even more. Look at that. Yes, Tony, I have. Yeah, I've used alcohol. I've also used hand sanitizer because, you know, for a little while there, we had gallons and gallons of hand sanitizer. Yeah, I used hand sanitizer for a long time. I still have some around here. I don't have any right here. So this is one of those stencils. Like, look at the edges of it. So useful. So that is a great stencil, right? I love that one. I'm not going to worry about cleaning that because I'm using Distress ink, so it's all good. Here is the Ledger stencil. Here's Ledger. This is another good one. I seem to be attracted to stencils that have, I love letters and numbers. I just find them so versatile. Like, look how fun that is. Love that. So cool. And then here is that fingerprint one. Now, if I was to ink this one, I think I would start in the middle really dark. I would start in the middle really dark, and I wouldn't re-ink. I would just let it fade out. Like, look how cool that is. Oh, Sandra, me too. Oh, I've got, I counted a couple of years ago. Somebody, I think a customer challenged me to count all my stencils. And then that was like 2 years ago or more. It could have been longer than that. And I was up to close to 500 stencils. Love them so much. I've got stencils that go back like 20 years. Love it so much. Love stencils. Mostly because I can use them in so many different ways. And I can get a lot of mileage out of them. Okay, here we go. Remember this page? It's the page that I've done some stamping and some stenciling on. Now we're going to start adding some color. I'm going to be using infusions from Paper Artsy. Now these are I have little discs and they have the colors written on the back of them. So if I ever want to remind myself of which color is which, I have made little samples. So it's like, oh yeah, I think that'll be a good color. That'll be nice. Oh, I love that. That's cool. So the ones I used on the my original page, Royal Blood and Emerald Isle. So the ones on this page, I used Royal Blood and Emerald Isle, those two right there, because I was trying to create a sky and some grass. That's really what I was going for. So those are the ones I used on the original. Now I think I'm just going to use, here we go. I had to find the right page. Oh, you don't have that many, Sandra. Oh, okay. I do have a nickname because of my stencil obsession. Yeah, I have a nickname. Okay, here's my page. So what I'm going to do, for those of you who have never used infusions, this is it's a colored stain powder is what it is. Um, and these are water-based. They're absolutely amazing, and they have a walnut stain base. Now, what I love about Paper Artsy is because of the walnut stain base, they had people asking them, let me just see if I can find it, if we could just get just walnut. And yes, they have just walnut. Love it. Okay, so there's a few different ways of applying this. And let me bring my samples back out. So there is the sprinkle and spritz. There's the spritz and sprinkle. You can watercolor a lot of different ways. This one, I sprinkled my color on and then I spritzed it with water. Now my image here, I actually watercolored that onto my image. Watercolored it. Yep, exactly like I said, watercolored. So I'm going to take royal blood. And I think I might, just for fun, I'm going to take Golden Sands. Golden Sands is probably my favorite one. And this one, I think I've actually had to replace it once already. But a lot of these infusions I've had for like 6 or 7 years. They will last you a long time. Okay, so I'm going to start sprinkling this over my page. Now you notice I have just got a tiny little hole in there. And all I did was I took my pick tool. Oh, the rusting powder. Don't even get me started on the rusting powder. It's so amazing. My little pokey tool and poked a hole right through the lid. So I'm going to just sprinkle that on. And now I'm going to take some of the Golden Sands. I'm going to sprinkle some of that on. So these are very much like Brushos and the Ken Oliver ones from a few years ago. Very much like those, exactly the same. These ones have the walnut stain base. Now I'm going to take, oh, I feel like I was missing some in that top corner. I'm going to take my water. This is just plain old water. And we're just going to start activating that. And look at that color come to life. Love it. Now, this is a watercolor journal, so these papers are made to take on water. And before I make a complete mess, I'm just going to grab some paper towel here. So I can tip my pages up. And just get some colors on there. Lovely. Just got a brush. I'm just going to kind of work it around some of that embossing. Now, if you're missing areas, like I don't want to cover this. I don't want to really cover it. I am going to start kind of blotting up some of the heavier areas. Now, with this, because it's got that walnut stain base, the longer you let these sit wet, the more of that walnut stain is going to be released. The more of that walnut stain is going to be released. So the longer you leave it, the more of that antique effect you are going to get. If you don't want a lot of the brown, you just take your heat tool, you go in right away and you stop it from reacting and you just start drying it right away. Now, I love this. Just going to give it a dry. Okay, that's not completely dry yet, but it's getting there. Now I'm going to move this off to the side just for a moment, and let's bring this tag in. Now let me just check. I'm just going to take my heat tool. Hello, hello, Bonnie. Just wanted to get, yeah, that's dry now. Just wanted to get that texture paste a little bit more dry. Okay, now we're going to add some to here. Emerald Isle, where did you go? So many wonderful colors of these. I absolutely love them. Okay, so here's Emerald Isle. Now I am doing this on craft, so I'm not going to get quite as dramatic on here as I would on white, but I did add the Emerald Isle to here. Let's grab our water. Lovely. Add some green to that bottom. Love that. And then let me add something to the sky. I think I'm going to go back to golden sands on this one. I think the golden sands will look nice on the craft. So the embossing that I did and the texture paste that I did is going to be a resist. Going to be a resist. Look at that. That is amazing. Love that. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Here we are on the tag. Oh, I love that so much. I've got more ideas on this, but I'm going to let it sit aside to dry for a minute. I love that. Love that. Okay, so let me bring this in. So this is what we've got so far. Love, love, love. Oh, this actually might go on this page. I haven't decided, but let's do some imagery next. Ten-second tidy. Okay, I'm going to bring in some of the Vicki Boutin, dry my surface. Vicki Boutin Foundations paper, which is now sold out. I can't get any more of it. I can get some more black, but I can't get any more white. We do still have some in stock, but get it before I buy it all because it's my favorite. Okay, let me do, I want to do one of the bird images. So on my original page, I did this bird, which I love, but yeah, I think I'm going to do this one. Now, I've just had an idea. I hope you didn't have plans for tonight. I'm going to do another tag because this stamp set, sorry, let me get back here. This stamp set is called Spread Your Wings. The craft paper, it's actually the, bring it back in here. It's the Essential Mix Tag Set from Visible Image. According to Heather, who was watching one of Vicky's lives, she has not found a replacement for the foundations paper. So kind of when it's gone until she gets a replacement for it. So unfortunately, yeah. I'm going to go back to one of the bigger tags. We were hoping she was going to be able to bring something out through 49 and Market, but so far that hasn't materialized. So we're all waiting with bated breath because I love the foundations paper. I love it. I don't know if I want to do this in black or if I want to do this in, oh, let's do this. I've got another VersaFine Claire. This one is Portobello. I think it'll be nicer in Portobello. Now that I'm doing it on Portobello, we're going to go back to craft. There we go. Probably should have used my stamp platform. As soon as I started stamping, I'm like, why are you doing it like this? You know better. So stamp platform it is. I know better than that. Okay. Stamp platform. Boy, the crafter math is happening early tonight. Okay, back to Portobello. So I can get a good stamped image. Oh, that's pretty. And I think it also needs, that grass stamp around the bottom. So let's do that. In Portobello. Hello, Cece. How are you? Okay, so let's do some of the grass as well. Love that. Hello, Deb. And some embossing powder to get that wonderful resist. So this bird stamp is from the Spread Your Wings stamp set from Visible Image. And don't forget, if you're just joining us, we are doing a giveaway. We're giving away this Visible Image stencil called Fingerprint. And you just have to comment. We're going to run a giveaway generator at the end. It's gathering up your names. And we'll give it away tonight just before we leave. That's fun. Okay. Tonight is the night for Golden Sands. It is my favorite color of infusions. And look at that great resist we're getting. Absolutely gorgeous. Wipe back some of that off of my embossed image. Look how fun that is. That is fun. Okay. Love that. So we've got that. That is fun. And there's the other one. That is fun. Oh my gosh. I am loving these. Don't know how I'm going to use them yet. Okay, I do want to stamp one actual image I'm going to cut out, and it is, I think I'm going to put it on here, and this is going to go on this page. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, where's my stamp platform? We're going to do one more. We're going to cut it out. There we go. And let's do this one. And while I'm at it, let's do one of the words from that stamp set. And this stamp set, this image is from this one right here. That one is from Soar. I'm using the watercolor journal from Dina Wakley. It's this one here, the blue front one, the watercolor journal. Okay, let's put that back in. I'm going to stamp and emboss this one, and then we're going to cut it out. There we go. And I'm going to go back to the Versifying Claire Nocturne. As soon as I find out where I put it. It's a beautiful journal. I have been obsessed with the Dina Wakley Ledger Journal. I've been using that one so much. But when I was getting ready to do this, I thought, oh, I need to use something where I can use a lot of water and it's going to work. And then I remembered I had this one. I hadn't even used it yet. So I was like, that seems like a good time to use that one. So our dynamic duo was back last week. They dazzled you with the Vicky Bouton Irresistibles coming from 49 and Market. And yeah, those are pretty fantastic. I might have to get myself some of those and use them in my journal. There we go. Last bit of embossing. Do I like to emboss? Yes, I do. Dump that back in and put the lid back on before we have a catastrophe, because that is a big jar of embossing powder to be tipping over. I would start crying if I actually did that. There we go. Look at that. So nice. Love it. Okay, where are my fussy cutting scissors? Here we go. Let's cut this out, and then we will start getting our page together. There we go. And cut out our bird. I'm not too crazy about my fussy cutting. I am going to have quite a mess to clean up. Oh, Kathy, I'm so jealous you get to see Dina this weekend. I have to wait until the fall. Say hi to her for me. Okay, so this one has tiny birds on it. Yeah, I'm not going to cut those out. Sorry, they're going in the wastebasket. I don't have time to sit and color them out or cut them out. There we go. Almost done cutting around those feathers. Again, not too closely, but I do want to cut around them a little bit. There we go. Do need to wipe this up because I can feel the grittiness of the embossing powder. Let's bring this back in. Okay, so we've got a couple of tags. This one's still a little bit wet. This one, oh my word, I love it. And that bird's going to go on there. Now, before I do that, I do want to, let me go back to that original page because I'm trying to remember. Right. Okay. No, I was just wondering. I think I'm going to put this on here. I just feel this page is, oh, Julia, are this when card making? You always seem to know what you know. I really wish I knew what I was going to do ahead of time. I'm very much like, let's just sit down and play. I don't. Now, that being said, This card that I made, this one here, I very much had a vision in my head. I had a vision. And then I just sat down and made it based on the vision that I saw. Um, but when I do my art journal, I just like sit down and just start grabbing stuff and, let's just get some stuff in. Now, I think I'm going to come in and I'm just going to rough up the edges of this tag. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit of texture separating the tag from the paper. So I'm going to come in with my paper distressor and just distress the edges of this tag. Just want it to stand out a little bit. In all honesty, when I come into Monday Night Lives and I have a plan in my head of what I need to create, that's when things go wildly off the rails and go really wrong. So that's why I just plan on doing it. I mean, I sort of know what I want to do, but I don't plan on doing that. Love it. Maybe I want to put this down in the corner. Okay, I'm going to curl the wings of the bird a little bit. I'm going to curl the wings so the wings are kind of like that. I am going to put some 3D foam adhesive behind there before I put it on there. And just to add a bit more texture, I'm actually going to use the tiny attacher. Here's another tool I've had for years and I don't use it enough. That is fun. I love that. Just going to put a little bit of glue to hold that down. There we go. Let's put some adhesive on the back of our bird. So I'm going to put some 3D foam just behind the wings where the curve is. That looks good. And then let's put some glue just where the body is. So just like that. And then we're going to stick him right there. Love that. Love it so much. Where's my black oxide? I like just adding a little bit of black just around the outside, just to kind of frame that a little bit. And I can't not do it. I need to add a bit of splatter. I just have to. So I'm just going to grab my white splatter paint here. Oh, on here, that was, and I'll grab it out again. That was Infusions, and the color is Golden Sands. So these are the infusions that I use tonight. Infusions are from Paper Artsy. And the 3 colors I used, Golden Sands, so it's kind of the rusty color that you see here. Emerald Isle is the green that you see. And then Royal Blood is the blue one. Those are the 3 colors of the infusions that I used. Now, if I bring back in this card that I made earlier, and the background of this card was using the stencil that we're giving away. The colors that I used on here, in the middle was Golden Sands, and the orange color is called Sunset Beach, which is probably this one here, my second favorite one. So the combination on this card was Golden Sands and Sunset Beach. And if you want, I use the infusions to color this in. The wings and her hair are just walnut. And her top is a combination of Golden Sands and Sunset Beach. And her jeans were royal blood. So I used a lot of the same colors on here, but yeah. Love this. And actually, do you know what I'm going to do? Just something special. Whoever wins this stencil, I'm also going to send you this card. There you go. So you're going to win the stencil, and then I'm going to send you this card as well. So that is what you will get when we name our winner. So there you go. Did I do enough splattering? I feel like I didn't do enough splatter. Oh, that's a good splatter. I love a good splatter. There we go. Oh, I almost stuck that in my water. That would have been bad. I would have taken a drink after this and been gagging. There we go. Isn't that fun? So much fun. Okay. Look at that. I thought for sure I was going to go over an hour. I thought for sure I was. I thought, oh, I've got so much to talk about. Okay. So that's it. I created a page for you. I showed this card that I made for you earlier today. Somebody is going to win the fingerprint stencil, and I'm also going to be sending our winner this card as well that I made earlier today. So Brianna, excuse me, you need to take a drink of water. Brianna's going to run the giveaway tool and tell us who our winner is.
It's been a while. I have to remember how to do this. Okay, there we go. Share screen.
Who is going to be our winner? See all your names. Now, just so you know, the Paper and Ink Boutique can't win. Brianna can't win.
Linda Zombori.
Linda Zombori, you are the winner. So, Linda, we will have your stencil, and I will have this card for you as well. Now, don't forget, 25% off all visible image that we have in stock at the store. That is live right now. You can purchase or you can get that deal on the online store tonight. Brianna, maybe you can throw up those links again. So the deal goes all through tonight and all day tomorrow. Tomorrow you can take advantage of that deal in store or online, and it runs until 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesday, February 9th. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I had a lot of fun. I will be back in 2 weeks with another Monday Night Live. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Bye.